Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and warrantless searches. Well, a bill called House Resolution 76 was literally passed by Congress on August 22nd, and this is exactly what the bill allows. Crazy thing is, only 5 representatives stood against it. Now let me take you to the actual website, the bill itself, so you don't have to take my word for it. On the screen, what you see is the bill called House Joint Resolution 76, and it was introduced by Representative Hoyer Steny on February 2017. And as you can see, it was signed by law by the President, Donald Trump, on August 22nd. But what exactly does this bill allow, and what is the devious verbiage? Well, before I show you the devious verbiage, let me show you first what it grants. And according to this resolution, it grants the consent and approval of Congress for the Commonwealth of Virginia, the state of Maryland, the District of Columbia, to enter into a compact relating to the establishment of the Washington Metro Safety Commission. Now, what this bill allows is the ability for the government to go into those areas and work on those areas and do what they need to do. And obviously, we need maintenance and all of that in the Washington Metropolitan Railway Commission there, or Metro Rail Commission there. However, there's a little more detail that I'm worried about when you get further on down in the report. The problem is this little section, and it's goes down a little bit in the bill, but I'm going to throw it up on the screen. It says, in performing duties, the commission, through its board of designated employees or agents, may, this is what they're going to be allowed to do, quote, enter upon the WMATA rail system and upon reasonable notice and a finding by the chief executive officer that a need exists upon any land, water, and premises adjacent to the rail system, including, key word here, without limitation, property owned or occupied by the federal government for the purposes of making inspections, investigations, examinations, and testing as the commission may deem necessary to carry out the purposes of the MSC Compact, and such entry shall not be deemed as a trespass. The commission shall make reasonable reimbursement for any damages resulting to such adjacent lands, waters, and premises, homes, as a result of such activities. So, what does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, if you are in the Virginia, Maryland, or District of Columbia areas, and you live nearby or close to the WMATA rail system, then the government can go onto your property without a warrant, without limitation, and go into your property and do whatever they think they need to do. That is called a warrantless search. My thing here is, look, the bill is pretty good other than this section. This section needs to be removed completely from that bill, and I encourage everyone in the Trump administration who signed it to get rid of that section. No one should be allowed to have their property searched and seized without a warrant and without even a reasonable cause. The only cause is if you live by the rail system, well, then quite frankly, you're screwed, because they can come in anytime they want without a warrant. Now, the 5 congressmen that opposed this or stood against it are Justin Amash, he's from Michigan, Walter Jones, North Carolina, Thomas Massey from Kentucky, Alex Mooney from West Virginia, and Mark Sanford from South Carolina. What I found interesting as well is one of those representatives, Justin Amash, actually sent out a tweet regarding this bill. I'm going to throw that up on the screen. But he took to Twitter and he bashed the bill. He said, and I quote, "Only 5 of us voted against a bill allowing government to enter and search private property in parts of Virginia, Maryland, and the District of Columbia without a warrant." So here we have a representative specifically pointing out the atrocities of this bill. But meanwhile, all of them passed it except for 5. Meanwhile, nobody had anything to say about that particular section. I don't know about you, but I am not for warrantless searches here in America. You need to have a warrant to get on anyone's property. And just because you live close by a rail system doesn't mean that your rights should be infringed upon. And I'm sure you agree. Anyhow, share this far and wide because you're not going to hear it on the mainstream media. You're not going to hear it pretty much any area. They don't want to get the truth out, and they don't want to tell you what's really going on. Now, that said, I love Donald Trump and I love what he's done so far. I don't like the fact that he signed this bill with that type of verbiage in there. Little red flag for me, but maybe we can get that out if we bring enough attention to it. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. If you've not checked out my partner at getthetea.com, look, you really got to. I guarantee you that you will have a different system and your digestive issues will be a thing of the past because his tea really ultimately cleanses you. And my favorite is the super strength tea. I also like the colostrum alley tea. So go there and check those out. There's links in the description box below. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into my channel. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.